This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cageside Press, and I am here with Gregory Robocop Rodrigues, who takes on Jun Yong Park at UFC Vegas 41 on October 23rd. First off, Gregory, officially a UFC fighter with a UFC victory. Talk to me about how that feels.
Man, that's a dream to come through. I believe most of the fighters, they not in the UFC. That's the dream for them, and for me, it's not different. I worked for my whole life to get this opportunity, so I made it happen in June, and now I'm here to go to my second fight. I'm so excited to go in the UFC octagon again, and that's a pleasure for me. The only feeling the only thing I feel right now, and I'm so happy to do this, to do what I love, and especially now in the UFC. Yeah, man, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful God for this chance, and let's gonna do it.
Can we go back a little bit? Because, you obviously took that fight on short notice. You won the LFA title, and then they call you to fight Dusko Tudorovic. And then that fight was such a good fight. He was tough, but then you were clearly ready. I felt like that was a good example of how much you've grown in your striking in that fight. Can you just talk to me? How did you feel about your performance after it was all over?
So when I look back, my mind said that was a perfect debut in the UFC. Fight 3 rounds against Dusko. Dusko is a very tough fighter, and I respect him. And because two of my last fights before the UFC was by knockout, right? One in the second, and the other one in the first round. So the knockout was expected in this fight, but for me it was good to be there in 3 rounds and get a very tough fight, because that taught me a lot, especially now inside in the UFC. I know all the fighters, that's like the World Cup, right? And then all the fighters there is very tough fighters, and I need to test myself, in every fight. So this debuting for me was amazing, was perfect, and I see how good I am and stand up and my striking game. I didn't get tired too much. Every finish of every round, I rest and stand up. I didn't sit down, and all these little details was very good for me and very good. I know that fight put me in another level, and I'm so excited to my second fight to see how I'm gonna feel it again. And yes, bro, I'm very happy to debut with the win and fight the Dusko, the very tough fight, and can get the 3 rounds and unanimous decision. That was amazing. I think it now has another the best way to debut in the UFC. So I'm happy for it.
When you go from LFA and then you do Contender Series to the UFC, there's a lot more attention. And another thing I noticed, the internet, everyone seems to get more creative because now they see you in the UFC. Your nickname is Robocop, and people talk about it. You have a little bit of that look, like when he takes off the mask in the original movie. But now people talk about this, that you look like Barack Obama. What do you think about that? I'll be honest, when I first heard it, I was like, nah, come on, you guys, you're just being silly. Like the shape of the head, yeah, but the face and all that, you're a handsome guy, Gregory, but you're not Obama.
Thank you.
But now everyone photoshops, and I'm like,
that started a long time ago. When I was in Rio de Janeiro, when I was training the oxygen, like 5 years ago, Jacare started posting photos, me and him in the training, and everyone, oh, that's Barack Obama, oh, that's Obama's son. Oh, at that time, I didn't like that. Man, no, I'm not like Obama, man, come on. But it's okay for me. Obama was a great president, and it looked like him. That's I just tricky for everyone, and now I'm getting the game, and then sometimes I post in my tweet, and my wife posts in the tweet, oh, that's Obama, and I'm enjoying now. And Obama is not a bad guy. Of course, I'm handsome than him, but it's okay for me.
I want to ask you a couple other things. We've talked about this before, but you've been friends with Jacare for many years. You knew him when you were a teenager. You were best man at his wedding. What was your reaction when he announced he's done with MMA, he's retiring after a great career? What did you think about that?
Oh, man, for me, always I said this, Jacare was a very good example in my life, not just in MMA, but in his jiu-jitsu career as well. One of the best fighters I've ever seen. Not just inside the cage or the tatami, but in the gym, at the gym. And my thought for him, I believe he can keep going, fight. It's okay. He has a lot of surgery on elbows, knees, and everything. But Jacare is a super tough guy, and one of the things I very like in him, and that's I want to take and put in my life, my game, is his mentality, his mental game, man. He's like in his mind, like he don't lose it for nobody. Or even the training, if he trained with a white belt or black belt, he's the same. He doesn't change. And that's one of the things that I like it, especially like if you look at back in his fight against Rodrigues, he broke the arm and he kept him fight. That's him, you know. And that fight will show who he are and who he is, and that's great. You know, Jacare is a inspiration for so many guys, even for me. I saw him since I was like 8 years old, but he said he's done. He don't want to fight no more, and he want to enjoy his family. He's not bad for him. I think he did a lot of things in his career. He opened the door for so many guys coming right now. The guys from jiu-jitsu. He showed we can be a great MMA fighter as well. Even we just fought jiu-jitsu, and man, so a lot of good thought for him, and I wish the best for him. And if he want to get back in the MMA, I think he can do it. Yeah, man, that's what I think about him, and he's my guy.
Best compliment I could give you, Gregory, is that when you watch Jacare's early career, obviously he was always so good at jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
as he grew and he got better at striking, he was a tall, explosive athlete at
Yeah.
middleweight. And when he learned to start using his power and sitting on the punches, he just became so much more dangerous as a fighter, and you still respected the ground game. And I see a lot of that in you, because I think people forget, you know, you're tall, you're long, you got heavy hands, but you come from jiu-jitsu. And I think that the best compliment I could give you is I see a lot of similarities as you're developing as a fighter to Jacare, and we knew how great he was. So I got to say, like, I know that it comes from the heart, your relationship with him, and just how much respect that you and so many others have for him. I want to ask you about Sanford MMA. It seems like it's a very exciting time over there. You have Blon Brunson doing well in your division at middleweight. Michael Chandler obviously has a big fight coming up in a couple weeks. Can you just talk about the mood in the camp and in the gym? Because it feels like this is just a great time for Sanford MMA.
So always I said that, like, Sanford for me, what I love there is the atmosphere they created. Henry's an amazing guy, and he and of course all the coaches there, Greg Jones, they try to create a place for like a family, you know. Everybody help each others, and even we have a big names like you said, Bronson and Chandler and Gilbert Burn and all the guys, like the very high level guys. But we are the same, you know. We are the same. We help each other. We talk with each other. We have a friendship before we are training partners, and that's one of the things I love it there. And of course, in my game, in all the areas, even striking or grappling or jiu-jitsu, I'm getting better. They focus a lot in the strategy. They focus a lot in the techniques, and not just like hard training, going hard, hard, and hard. Even if you work just technique, you're working hard, because you put a mind to thinking about it and do the technique. So that's one of the things I love there, man. So many great fighters and an amazing coach. I love my time there. I'm growing up so much to see these legends inside the mat. Rob Lawler there just for amazing fight against Diaz, and yeah, man, like, I mean, I have a lot of I have a lot of guys to follow and look at what I want to go and say, oh man, this guy is right there. So I just look in there and I can follow. So I'm very happy to be at that gym. I'm so thankful God to bring me to Florida. It was a hard time in my life, and I did this change, the move of California from here. But that was the best thing happened in my life. My wife and I, we are so happy here. And yes, bro, I'm just started, and that's just the beginning of a new Robocop 2.0, and growing up and up. I know Sanford will put me in the place I want to be.
Certainly, I think that it's really shown in your last few fights, just your confidence in your striking. And like I said, we know that you have your grappling always there for you. My final question, you obviously have a fight coming up, another guy trying to make his name and build his resume in the UFC in Jun Yong Park. What do you think about him as an opponent, and how do you think that this fight is going to go?
Jun, I think that's a nice fight for me, especially this time. Jun has 4 fights in the UFC, coming 3 straight wins. He's had a good experience inside the UFC cage, but yeah, man, I know who I am, and I know where I want to go. I know where I come from. So that's great for me. He just will be one more guy in front of me. Like always, I said, my opponent doesn't have a face. I look at them and oh man, that's the guy in front of me. I need to pass him to go where I want to go. So it's gonna be an exciting fight. I know that. I pray for him be healthy. I know that all this stuff is going on about the COVID and all this stuff. And I just want to, on October 23rd, I will be there 100%. I want to go in there at 100%, and we're gonna see. But I'm ready for this, and I want this. My will for fight and enjoy what I do. That's just growing up, and I'm so excited, bro. That's the only thing I can say. I'm excited. I was training too much for this fight, and October 23rd, my army is gonna be up.
You're always so respectful. Are you planning to call out anybody if you get a victory?
No, bro. I think UFC, they do a great job, and for make the fighters, the matchmakers is great, great matchmakers. They know what is the best for us. So that's, like I said, I will be ready for anyone, and I want to go step by step, and I like it to do that, like a solid foundation to building up. And I think June is my next goal. I will pass him, and I will wait what the UFC wants from me, and I'm just here to do what they want.
Well, Gregory, we're looking forward to it. Once again, just best of luck. And guys, catch Gregory Rodrigues taking on Jun Yong Park at UFC Vegas 41 next Saturday, October 23rd. You are not going to want to miss it.